celebrate getting the best sleep off the rip. I can't do this straight off my head, but here we go. Hello, America. It's 2 a.m., and I'm Ron Burgundy. And tonight's top story is America. She is the greatest country in the world. Fact, the history of the world, too much of the news is what's going on, what's going wrong in the world, in America. Well, tonight, our top story is what's right in America. For starters, we're the last team as one of the host countries in the World Cup. We kick butt. We got Balogun back, and everybody's complaining about it. This is Ron Burgundy signing off. Welcome back to another stream. All right. Anyways, oh, and I just got three things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engines. All right. Welcome back, everybody. Little bit of a different intro. Um, Wanted to do just because it's the Fourth of July weekend, and all that stuff that we have going on. Um, I wanted to somehow just do something silly and goofy. Been moving a lot of stuff around. Busy day. Um, which, by the way, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? I'm glad you guys are here. Welcome back. This is GVS. Yeah, a lot of things going on in my little neck of the woods, and so glad you guys are here tuning in. Whatever, whether it's now or later. But I just kind of wanted to do just a silly little intro. But just because it's Fourth of July, I wanted to try to get a backdrop. So thing we might be angled a little bit differently today for this stream, but we got some things to talk about in the world of soccer or football, as people might call it. So sit back, enjoy, relax. Let's hop into this one. Look at that backdrop. It's kind of majestic, if you ask me. Um, no, but we got a couple things to talk about and go over in this stream. Look at this, 3-2, baby, 3-2. England moves on. This game was so good. Look that the bell. No, who who am I thinking of? The Norway. The Norway game was good against Brazil, but this game was something else. So we'll talk about today's action with today's games. We will also talk and get into. Is my mic good? Okay, my mic's good. Just wanted to double check. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about. Other than that, we'll talk about Balogun as well. I just thought of that off the rip, where it's like, what other little from his "Hello America" speech, what things could we like tweak and stuff. That comment about Balogun being back, just thought of that off the rip, impromptu. But I can give my thoughts on um Balogun being let off the hook. Hell, we could even talk about glizzies and being a glizzy globler and eating all the hot dogs and stuff. And we can talk about sports in the last 2 days because it's been a while. It's been a while since we've streamed, and so we can get back into the World Cup and we can talk about some of the games that we have missed as of late. We can talk about Morocco against Canada the other day and my memes that I was thinking about, where it's like, watching Washington sail across the Delaware, and it's like, you know, that feeling when you watch Canada lose on the 4th of July. So, anyways, I'm glad you guys are here. Let's get into the action. Do we start? I mean, there's not too much, like, realistically, NFL wise, NHL wise, NBA wise. The only big story, if you want to talk about the world of sports as a whole and go like, okay, here's a big story that everybody's talking about. LeBron, which it's like, hello, hi, hey, spoiler, hi. You might not know, sports world, but in the NBA, when it comes to LeBron, he's a big talk of the town. It doesn't matter when the interviews are at, when it happens. If he's going to get traded, that's going to be top priority. So, um, funny enough, with when you want to look at NBA news, the biggest thing is, like, I saw a meme where it's like, damn, the job market and the economy is that bad. Even LeBron's jobless and stuff, and it's like even he can't find a job, which I think if I were to make a quick rip on my thoughts and predictions on why, we can rotate a little more. We don't need to, you know, be stuck like, wait, no, we got to be having. No, we can. Um, my my prediction and the reason as to why I think LeBron, it's going to take a minute for him to sign is, well, look at when you listen to veterans talk in the NFL, or when you listen to hockey. It's different because I haven't listened too much into it with hockey. But like in the NFL, especially when you got OTAs and like summer workouts and stuff, one of those big names that come into play for the last handful of years has been Rodgers, and it's like, oh, is Rodgers going to re-sign, or is this one veteran, like, are they going to come back one more year, lace it up one more time? Like, I mean, look at Larry Fitzgerald, for example, with the Cardinals, where it's like, was this his last year or was that his last year? And like it just kept going and kept going. But like, I think um, there's parts of me, and again, the vets have talked about it, the ones who've been in the league for over 10 years, where yes, OTAs is important, but like there are some guys that are just still getting rest, taking a break and stuff before they have to get full on in. And the other thing too is with OTAs and mini camps and rookie mini camps and off-season workouts with regards to the NFL, the only time that you actually have to come back is mandatories. And so like when we look and we see what's going on with Ayuk with the 49ers and stuff, is like he can be making these videos of throwing money on the ground and all this, and but like if if he goes back eventually to the 49ers, technically he doesn't need to go back until everybody's back in the building. And this is usually middle of August, or later August, because the following weeks and the following Sunday, sorry, I'm super hot and it is super sweaty and it is super stuffy in this room. Um, but then following with like the workout programs and stuff, and then coming back into the building, you come back into the building about a week and a half, 2 weeks before, because that upcoming Saturday, that upcoming Sunday, that Monday, whenever it is, that's when your preseason week one is. Where, oh, you're the Cardinals, and guess what? Your preseason week one, you gotta go play the Raiders or something like that. Like I haven't looked at teams' preseason schedules because so I don't know. Oh, and that made my glasses that much worse. So we're going no glasses. I don't care. It's like I can't no. But I think going back to like the LeBron news, because it's kind of, other than football, the other like big news is like, yeah, the NBA and where he's going to sign and stuff. And I think it's the reason why there hasn't been any decision made yet is because there's probably some last second teams like the Nuggets, like the Sixers, where feeling things out, where maybe there's one more offer they could look at. Let's think about it, sit on it for a day. And but then also at the very end of the day, like you look and see Giannis in Miami. These posts could be old, but it's like, I mean, yeah, LeBron wants to get to work, but like you still also have the rest of the off season. And so that's my other thing on why this is not going to be, like the quote was, anytime soon, a decision made anytime soon, is because it's like, it's like he, he doesn't want to, it's not that he doesn't want to work out, but it's like, why would you rush to get right back to work? You know what I mean? Like, enjoy your off season. Does that make sense? Like, step away from the game. And so that's my take on that, is that everybody's probably thinking, oh, it's going to happen in the next 24 hours, which was very wrong. And then, because, yeah, like even Giannis's trade, even Giannis's trade could have waited a little bit. But then, like, even switching genres over into the NHL, to Chuck's trade came like 48 hours, like a decent chunk of time before everybody else then started to get traded, from goaltenders to other pieces going from, the Rangers to Utah, or additional pieces being added on for the Florida Panthers, because Chuck wasn't the only guy that went there. So you see what I mean? So I know that's a weird long tangent for me to make, about LeBron, but it's just something that I was thinking when like everybody like in between the two or three posts that they would do about football and like, oh, Brazil, they're down 1-0 or something. Like it'd be like, oh, hey, by the way, just so you know, with what's going on in the NBA world, that's like, oh, we know what the top, we know who the top cheese. Like there was the draft board or whatever of like he could go here, he could go here, and it's like, oh, whatever. I still think. I mean, I was thinking he was staying with the Lakers and retiring the Lakers with the Lakers. Um, there's parts of me just hearing too much where it's like, or the amount of pieces where it's like, after all this movement, how does he not go to the Warriors? You know what I mean? And so I'm a little. It's either Cavs or Warriors. Like the Sixers stuff, no. The Nuggets stuff, no. Um, and even Cleveland, I'm like, why would he go back to Cleveland? So, anyways, that's just me. And I don't think they need to rush the process either because they got the rest of the offseason to enjoy. Other than um, Jaylen Brown, who needs to get to Philly as soon as possible. You know what I mean? Or Giannis to Miami. Where it's like, there's no rush. But anyways. That's enough out of that. Let's talk about this phenomenal game that we saw earlier today between Brazil and Norway. My personal opinion, with how this game 2-1, was it 2-1 or 3-1? It was 2-1. I have a couple thoughts and opinions on this game that aren't controversial, but just like in my own thoughts. And we can also talk about Neymar's retirement as well and him retiring from club play. We can also talk too because apparently this is Ronaldo's last go round. And then everybody already assumes it's Messi's last go round. And there's parts of me, even before we get into the synopsis of how I feel about this Brazil Norway game, there's parts of me, it's like you're telling me Argentina is going to be like, nope, Messi, we're good. You said this is your last. We're good. We're good. We'll move on from you. We don't need you anymore. You kidding me? Like if Messi decides, yeah, I want to go play in the World Cup in 2030, but I only want to play like last 20 minutes of the game. Argentina's going to sit there and say no? Like who we kidding? You know what I mean? And like considering the amount of athletes that we've seen in baseball and hockey and football, where Father Time, they keep beating undefeated Father Time. It makes me go, yeah, with the level of how Ronaldo is playing and with how Messi is playing, why wouldn't they be at the next World Cup? You know what I mean? Like I know Ronaldo's a little bit older than Messi, but it's like, dude, they're uh, okay. Yeah, you'll be over 40, but it's like you're still playing at the top level, and it's like again, Portugal. Like if Portugal keeps you as a late game sub, where you play the last 20, last 25 minutes, you're already in shape. You're not injured. Why not? Why not run it back again when you're 43, 44, 45, like 45? Like, who cares? But that's just me. That's just my opinion. I kind of, in the same sense, feel the same way about Modric, even though people have been like, no, Modric is done. It, to me, it's like, okay, if you're done, you're done. And kind of that's how I feel with Neymar. Um, as well, where there's parts of me where it's like I could see him come back for another game, but like with him announcing today that this was his last game with his um, uh, international team, because that's the term they use, yeah, because there was another thing too back like right after Messi and Argentina won the World Cup that people thought Messi would like just retire and not play soccer again and like really go out on top and it's like well, he still plays with Inter Miami, and you still have the Copa America coming up in 18 months. Because again, remember the World Cup was at the end of the year, not in the summer, and so it's like he's probably gonna get. And then oh look at that, he came back. And it's like well, he's not gonna go to the World Cup, and oh look at that, he's currently tied with Holland and Mbappe for the Golden Boot in 2026 when people already wrote him off that he was going to be done in Qatar 22. So, who, huh? Who was the final say in that decision? You know, like it's so funny. Like to watch predictions be wrong, which I've made my own handful of predictions that have been very wrong. Where it's like, yeah, I have Portugal and Argentina again in the final. Yeah, watch that. You know, watch Spain tomorrow put up and beat them 3-1 tomorrow, or something like that. But anyways, anyways, I feel a certain type of way after this game, especially because go watch the clips, go watch my highlights, dude. I've been picking Norway since day one, since this bracket showed, because you could go back to group play on Brazil, where I probably would have changed my attitude a little bit, and like let's say Brazil beat Morocco 2-0, 3-1, 3-2, 2-2, but then beat them in, like, there's parts of me that if like they beat Morocco outright, I probably would have shifted my tone a little. I still probably would have picked England to beat Brazil in the quarterfinals, but to me, like, a big decision on why I picked Norway over Brazil is Norway is a hot team right now. Norway is getting flashes. They're giving me flashes of Croatia back in 2018. They're giving me flashes of Argentina in 2014, because not a lot. You go back to 2014, not a lot of people had Argentina in the final. Maybe they did, and I don't remember, because again, like, super young, don't know the ins and outs of soccer, don't know rosters. But like in 2014 when it was in Brazil, wasn't Brazil like one of the big favorites to win it all or something? So I just I look and like I just Norway has impressed me so stinking much with how they play, and there's parts of me where watching how this game went down, yeah, a full healthy Norway team, would they have lost to France? Potentially, because of the Dembele hat trick there in the first 30 minutes. That is a real possibility of happening. Um, Again, even with all the starters in, but like they sat all their starters. Um, they lost to France, and I think everybody just kind of forgot how good they were. Now, this Norway England game, huge. It is going to be huge. And there are parts of me where I could see Norway beating England. I could see England beating Norway. Personally, in my predictions, not going to gatekeep. I did pick England, and then in the semifinal, I had England and Argentina. Um, but just like with coming back to it, like my thoughts and reactions to why I picked Norway over Brazil, group play. I was coming back to group play, where how I felt about Portugal was kind of how I felt about Brazil. Um, where it's not disappointment, but there's like you look at how Cape Verde, even though Cape Verde lost to Argentina in a phenomenal game, it's like Cape Verde impressed me a lot, because could have easily gotten blown out by Spain, because look at what happened to Austria. Could have easily got blown out to Uruguay, but they didn't, and it was 3 draws. It, and that to me was more impressive, because they played out of their expectations with this being their first time in the World Cup, versus Brazil, who have been there, done that. You could compare them to the Boston Celtics, where they have the most World Cups, so the expectation every single game is to win or be runners up. A lot of people picked Brazil over Team USA in the final, and I just, because they didn't beat Morocco, because okay, you beat up on Haiti, you beat up on Scotland. Wow, it it was very much, I was set in stone on, let's see how this Japan matchup goes, and their goal against Japan that got them to win over the hump very late in the game, and for those 4 games, nothing convinced me from what I saw out of Norway, where it's like, yeah, Brazil's going to come out here and they're going to beat them 3-0, 2-0. Um, Now, in my personal predictions, I predicted a 2-2. I believe that's what I said in the stream the other day. 2-2, and then it going to a shootout, and then them winning in a shootout. Um, but whatever this was in this game, oh boy, this game shocked me a lot, considering I was not expecting Brazil to play like this. They played very flat. all game, and it was 0-0 going into halftime. Could have been 1-0. The offsides at the very beginning of the game, because Norway scored in the first 6 minutes, 6 minutes, 7 minutes, like in that first 15-minute range, and it was called back for an offsides, which I've already given my thoughts and poo-pooed every offsides or something because it's like, oh come on, 'cause it's not where it's where the defender is. Same with the offensive guy ready to receive the pass. It's where his location is to the ball, not where the gather step is. That's the term I would use because, like, yeah, you saw the pass, but by the time he caught the pass, the defender was right on his back hip, and so like there's parts of me where it's like, dude could be 10 yards in front of the guy. If he doesn't collect the ball and come down with it with a simple touch, if he was 10 yards ahead and that defender is able to close that gap and he's on his back pocket with hands on him already, even though he had a 10 yard gap, there's parts of me where it's like, yeah, why do you call the offsides if the defender's right? Don't know it, don't get it, whatever. So they called the goal back, and I was like, okay, we might have a ball don't lie here moment. Um, in my personal opinions, I'd be like, yeah, this game was 2-0. Forget about the penalty kick. It's 2-0. Which I did see the meme where Harry Kane has the most penalty goals. And they're like, but because his name's Ronaldo, nobody's talking about it. And it's like, yeah, that's true. Um, but I think not with like how blatant the offsides was that neglected the goal. But if there was a ball don't lie moment, it was after the save because there was a penalty and Brazil was awarded a penalty kick. Again, I don't like penalty kicks. I think unless it's like a blatant, oh yeah, you can see the guy, like you can literally see, like if we have a contact point of like we have a sliding tackle and you can literally see one boot go under the other and like it cave down or something. Like it's like, yeah, I could, okay, yeah, but flopping. We've seen flopping before, so it's like, oh, okay, sure, sure. Um, but Brazil was awarded a kick and it was blocked away. Great save. Norway's goaltender played out of his mind today. And you know what? Brazil's goaltender played well too. He had a good tournament. So that's not to neglect on anything. Is this the save? This is one of the saves. If it will show it. Oh, this is one of the saves that went right through, split right through the defenders, and then come down here for the save. Okay, then Holland's goal. Where's Holland's goal? Okay, the cool thing about Holland's goal, and it was a lot like Cape Verde's goal the other day as well, where it just curves that back post and you cannot get your hand on it. Well, that's the one. That's the one that he got his hand on. Where is? Oh, does it not have the rerun? Oh, I guess it doesn't. All right, let's go over here. Oh boo! Oh boo hoo! All right, let's go right here. Hopefully it doesn't. All right, escape. Oh man, dude, I bet Airbnbs are making hand over fist right now. Oh, there wasn't a goal. Oh, it's still 0-0. So then where's Holland's goal? Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. Because he had this one and then he had the header. Oh, the header was the first one. Durr. It was his long shot that was the second one. That again, Holland has impressed me a lot in this World Cup, like Mbappe type levels. Because it's one thing if you're showing up someone in, this is your third World Cup, fourth World Cup, second one. This is his first World Cup, and he's showing up everybody. Yeah, there's the header. There's the header. So this one also join my 8-week program. Um, what does Rex Fondo say? Something about Darla, forget about it. Join my 8-week program. Grab my arm. My other arm. My other arm. You're gonna break the wrist and walk away. Watch. Jeez. Or something like that. He says something about like, you think something about a roundhouse kick with these bad boys on? Forget about it. Anyways, all right. Let's get back to what we're actually here for. Yeah, here's the header, and this is in the 80th minute. This was late, late into the game. And I think with just late game heroics, I don't think the game was over at this point. And there were parts of me because both teams had the pressure on for both squads, um, respectfully, because the difference, one of the difference that I would say, um, with this game versus like the Mexico England game, there was a point after Harry Kane's penalty kick where it was 3-1, where it's like, yeah, who again? There's only one team, Senegal. There was only one team that would blow a 2-goal lead, and it's like, I don't think England's blown a 2-goal lead. I don't. Now, Mexico did come back. Mexico did make it very interesting. Um, and it took forever for the game to end, but we'll get there. We'll get there. So, again, with my own thoughts on Holland, with this being his first World Cup, that to me is probably what's the most impressive. And I will admit, jumping on that bandwagon, because have I been watching him since? No. No, look, fraudster right here, number one, where it's like, I don't watch I don't watch soccer until tournaments show up. So like, little friendlies, little friendlies that pop up, no, or uh Premier League, or I mean, I'll watch the Premier League like here and there, but like it'll have to be like a slow sports day. But like, yeah, just like I try to watch El Clasico when it's on, but again, sometimes just because it's a different country. So if the game is not on and it's not broadcast here or promoted here, it like just goes on their channels and just goes under the radar. It's like that is a very real possibility because again, it's their country, it's their own broadcasting rights. So, um, but yeah, when like known about um, what he's been doing. But yeah, just the fact that because we didn't know about Mbappe before the 2018 World Cup, a lot of soccer aficionados did. Just kind of like how this is also Yamal's first one as well for Spain, but like he came onto the scene during the Euros and stuff after they beat England, and that's when and so like just to see the fact that you got guys like Harry Kane when this isn't their first go round, Ronaldo not their first go round, and just all these other players, and it's like this is your first time, this is your fourth game in World Cup, and you have 7 goals. You have 7 goals in your first 4 World Cup games. There are guys that can't even imagine that kind of start to their career. Like, it, this is going to sound freaking blasphemous. Let's just compare each and every single game to playoff wins and playoff touchdowns or Super Bowl rings or whatever. It's like, I have said it before. Lots of people would want their football career to be what Patrick Mahomes, the start of his career was, where literally from 2018 when you were the main guy. You lost in the AFC Championship game, won a Super Bowl, lost a Super Bowl, lost an AFC Championship game. Um, who won a Super Bowl, won a Super Bowl, and then missed the something like that. And it's like, what other court like name me, besides Tom Brady, throw Tom Brady out of the equation. Is that what, the first 8 years for Peyton Manning were like? Andrew Luck, Big Ben, Rodgers, Marino, Elway. You see what I mean? Like Elway, and I love taking like little history lessons and looking up on the NFL. Like Elway was a bust and considered a scrub until he won those back-to-back Super Bowls with the Broncos. I had to relearn that, and because you look at it now and it's like, yeah, you got your quarterbacks who have won multiple Super Bowls, like your Troy Aikmans and your Bradshaws and you know Tom Brady and all that. But it's like, no, like if like for example with Josh Allen right now, how we talk about the first handful, like let's say Josh Allen does retire with 2 Super Bowl rings, the amount of exits that he had against the Bengals, Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, if he loses to Lamar Jackson in the playoffs or what, like nobody's going to care in 20 years, 25 years. Nobody's going to care because it's like, well, but again, do you remember that time he went back to back where one year he beat the 49ers and then the next year he beat the Rams? Like nobody's going to care. No, like cuz that was the biggest thing, but he's got to be careful though cuz if he finds himself, because the same thing with Joe Namath. Like Joe Namath won that one Super Bowl, and he's like, that's it. Um, and people talk about that, but like with you look at like Joe Flacco, you look at Joe Flacco, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers. They're on that unique level where it's like they won a Super Bowl, but it's like they never got back. There was a so oh well, oh well. Anyways, but there are a lot of quarterbacks who have played in the NFL that have never won a Super Bowl. Anyways, that's a rant. Sorry about that rant, but while we're at it, let me keep talking about this Norway game. Let's check the chat. Chat, how we doing, people? I haven't looked at the chat in a while. Let me look. Let me look. Let me look. Let me look. All right. Glad you guys are here. How does this sound? All right. Glad you guys are here. How does this sound? Sound doesn't sound too bad. Okay. All right. Sweet. Um, but yeah, it to me it's impressive considering like this is how many goals he's been able to get, and with basketball and hockey and yeah, sometimes the moment can be too big for players, and just the fact that the moment hasn't seemed too big for Norway, to me that is actually what's really cool about this Norway team is the moment doesn't seem too big. Like that England game doesn't seem too big. Like I don't think England went up 3-1 on Mexico. I don't think the moment was too big for Mexico. But if you want to look through like recent history of World Cup games, like the biggest one that I can think of is obviously the 7-1 loss to Brazil. Um, Thinking of Portugal when Portugal lost to Morocco. Like the moment wasn't too big, you know what I mean, and so they ended up winning. Where it's like, yeah, we're playing Portugal, and look, we're beating them. Moment's not too big, and so I'm trying to think in any quarterfinal or semifinal game where a team ran away with it. Not include like I'm trying to think of a different. Maybe the final between Croatia and France, or maybe the moment felt a little bit too big for Croatia because um, score was 4. 4-2 in the end, but there was a moment where it was 3-1 and they were up 3-1. Um and they're up 3-1 and then I think it went 3-2, but then that's when Mbappe had the final seal. Yeah, I think like somewhere deep in the 80th or something where he had the goal that made it 4-2. Something like that if I'm remembering correctly, cuz I know it was 1-0 and then it was 1-1 and then it was 2-1 and then it was 3-1 real quick and it's like, well, it's over. And then what's going on over here? Get out of here. Hopefully it hasn't been playing too many ads. Which in fact, let me close out of this. Um, but just the moment doesn't seem too big for Norway, and so with um, and it's kind of hard for me to think that the moment was too big for Mexico, because I don't think it was either, but like there's parts of me where I don't see England. I can see England maybe going up 2-0, but then Norway makes it a quick 2-1, and that is how it goes for the remainder of the game. Um, and vice versa. Like I don't think Norway. It would shock me tremendously. Which let's double check. The level I would compare it to when France beat Argentina. France versus Argentina in 2018. That was a 4-3 game. Okay, never mind. Well, actually, I don't know the context of that. Maybe that one point in the game they were up 4-2. What was the Argentina Croatia? I think Argentina Croatia was 3-1. Let me check. Croatia versus Argentina. It was 3-0. It was 3-0. Okay. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think the moment would be too big uh, for Norway, but again, I don't expect them. I don't expect them to come out and beat England 3-0. That would be crazy. That'd be absolutely crazy, and it would be kind of a little reminiscent on Croatia Argentina back in 2018, where it's like, wow, we wow, I stubbed my toe. I was then like it'd be something like that where we knew they were good, they were very flashy, but England is England. It's coming home. They're gonna figure it out. And then, wow, Holland had Holland had a goal to start out, in the first 15, and then their defense just played phenomenal. Which we'll talk. Hopefully, I can remember to talk about England's defense because England played good defense because they were down to 10 um, for the whole second half against Mexico. But you have your wow, we're England. We're down nothing, 1-0 in the first 10 minutes, and then it's like, and then oh look at that, in the final extra 3 minutes, 4 minutes before halftime, someone sinks a header, and it is 2-0, and it's like, oh frick, and then in the first 15ish of the second half, before we reach like the 55th minute or the 60th minute, it is 3-0, and England is down. And that, to me, that'd be like wow, and that would shock me. So because I think the other shock value of England's win today was Bellingham, which we can talk about that later when we get there. Okay, let's fast forward a little bit um, into where is the second goal. So here's the second goal for Holland. And people were super happy about it. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. Back to Rex Kwando. What we playing at? Oh no, are we chippy? We're so laggy. Oh no, are we chippy? Oh no, we sound fine. Maybe it was the me switching over to. Well, we only have one. We only have one program open. All we have is YouTube. Um, which Brazil's lost. I wouldn't blame um on their goalkeeper either. I do like how after the first goal, ooh, it's showing the coach. We'll talk about the coach too, because I could see a lot of people, I could see a lot of people getting real loud where it's like, okay, it's time to move on. We need a new coach, and that like there's parts of me where I wouldn't blame Brazil's coach for this loss. I would I put this one on the players. I really think it's on the players because I mean it's soccer. It Hockey's one thing. Hockey with who are we gonna put on net? Who are we gonna how are we gonna you know what are we gonna do on this power play? Who are some line shifts that I'm gonna change up a little bit? Who coaching football? You're the one who's giving the plays. Um, versus soccer, where yes, there are certain plays you do and aspects you do, but soccer is kind of like basketball in the point of you can coach them to go do stuff, but then at the end of the day, their flow of how they do the game is how they do the game. Because it's like the amount of back and forth and stuff. Like with Coach Brown, for example, with the Knicks, it's not like during a TV timeout they're like, "Hey guys, after we get this rebound here, drop the play three." It's like, no, let's see what Brunson does. Brunson's the hot hand. Let's give him the ball. Let's have him chuck it up a couple times. Oh, OG's not doing well with the three. Well, let's isolate it down. Let's have our floor general, you know, Cat, come here. Let's pick a screen. Try to dump it down to him, or something where he does a quick 7-footer or something like. Versus football, where it's like every single meticulous thing on a play is said into the quarterback's ear. Relays the message, and we only have certain quarterbacks who are like, no, I'm going to do an audio here, real audible, real quick, and be like, no, we're doing this. Hey, check, look. Mike Backer's coming right over the middle. We can't do our draw screen right here because that Mike Backer's sitting right there. He's going nowhere. Let's swing it out to the flat. Something like that. Let's go look at our slot receiver. Let's dump it off for him because you can tell by the way the corner is lining up. Corner's going to bail real quick and try to seal off our tight end right here because they think it's probably going to the tight end because our last two passes for first downs went to the tight end right here. So versus soccer where it's like, go out there, go have fun. I don't know. Maybe it's a lot different. Maybe that's the ignorance of me being like, yeah, soccer is soccer, whatever. But I think maybe with Brazil media and maybe with the articles and the news and the headlines over there, they're like, hey, Unc, hey, Grandpa, hey, it's time to go. It's time to retire. But there's parts of me where it's like, no, they're Brazil. What a what substitutions did they not make right? You know what I mean? Like what kind of plays did they not draw up the right way or it ended up backfiring in their face? You know what I mean? Like because if anything, it's Holland. They didn't stop Holland. Guess what? They knew coming into the game, Erling Holland would be a problem, and they didn't stop him. And I think with soccer, you throw the plays away. What probably comes with the issues of losing games probably comes down to who is on your team and roster builds. And so then that would yes, that would come down to the coach and be the coach's fault. But that would also be the ownership of like the coaches and the coaches conferences have been like, well, we want this player versus this player, and so what and so forth. Because I mean, as far as we know, these were their best. What's their roster? 20 players. These were their 20 best players in the whole country. So I don't know. I don't know. I could see that being loud talking point because if it's not that, it will be them talking about Neymar, which I don't think Neymar was an excuse for them losing this game at all. Um, I think just we haven't, excluding Vinny Jr. Take him and we haven't seen. I would equate it to kind of uh, Portugal, where you take away Ronaldo off of Portugal. What is Portugal's identity? You take away Ovechkin off the Capitals. What is the Capitals' identity? You take away Mahomes from the Chiefs. What are the Chiefs' identity? Versus you look at England, where you take away Kane, there's still Bellingham. You take away Mbappe, there's still list of guys there. And so I just, and same with Argentina. Like, we joke and we go, wow, Argentina is bailing their ass. Messi's bailing their ass out. Argentina's got a lot of good guys too. And will they win the World Cup if Messi leaves? Probably not. Probably not. But they're they're still good enough to the point where Argentina team without Messi is still better than a Brazil team. Hot take. Woo! Hot take there. Now, an Argentinian team without Messi, are they better than England? If we're doing one game and one game, like if we chop it up to a series, I could see both teams winning a couple. But like, I want to say, oh no, no, because England's pretty good, man. And then an Argentina team without Messi, no, they're not better than France. They're not better than France. We know how good France is. France is really good. So, anyways, so yeah, it certainly it's very disappointing. Brazil's playoff exit, 2-0 at the hands of Norway. But it. Oh, okay. Hold on, it wasn't 2-0. Let's get to the goal here. Let's fast forward a little bit. So there was a little bit of cheekiness right here. Okay, let's let it load in here. No, it's gonna play an ad. Okay, hold on. It's gonna play an ad, and so we're gonna wait a little bit while it plays the ad. The mark of a fighter. Alright, let's go back into this. Oh, wait. Go back 5 seconds. Okay. Well, well, when you slow it down like that, yeah. When you slow it down like that, yeah. Um, yeah, yeah. That it was a flying elbow. Do I think it? I don't think it was on purpose. Um, because he just he out leveraged him. Like he is above. Like he jumped taller than him. Because how many times have guys with a corner kick, yeah, been elbowed or bonk noggins, or yeah, I think yeah, that was a penalty. Um, I would have given them a free kick because it is a penalty, but like a penalty kick. I don't know. Like I know that has to do with relation to where they are in the box, because sometimes there will be a penalty within the box, but then they'll just give them a free kick. Again, I do not know the difference, like with where they're located, because there was the when who was the keeper? Was it in the Brazil Mex? No, hold on. Was it in this one? Or was it in the Mexico England, where the keeper came all the way out and they blocked it, but then they gave the keeper a yellow card, but they didn't boot him because he made a play on the ball. But then England got the free kick, and that was the Harry Kane goal. I think this is what I'm thinking of. But I mean, if anything, because yes, it was a penalty, but again, I don't know what with the severity of the penalty. Maybe that's what awarded them the penalty kick. Um, Now, the only gripe that I'll be like, well, technically, if you look at the clock, we are at 98 minutes and 11 seconds. What was the stoppage time? +7. This game did not end. The free kick came, scored, and then 2 seconds later, they blew the whistle and called it. So I've seen the memes of like Neymar's stats, and it's like, what was his stats? His stats was, well, damn, here you go. Here's a free kick. And then it was like 3 weeks vacation. Just like the memes of him. Now, where is they were yapping at each other the whole time before the free kick. Like they were talking shit. That was the other thing too, which it's not gonna show. Well, actually, maybe it will. Like, so here's the penalty. So Neymar came in and swiped someone's legs. Yeah, right here. Neymar came in, kicked the boot out. Do I think he flopped? Yeah, I think he flopped. Because here's the thing: if well, actually no. If Norway's down 2-0, yeah, he's flopping to try to get some free there. Um, but like we have seen the level of physicality in certain games where, okay, yeah, I know you're fouling me, but it's like I'm still gonna try to, you know, balance this out here and keep pushing because we've seen it. Now, okay, so there was the so let me switch that back here. So there's this where there was the kick, and so then we have a little bit of hostility here. We have them coming up and talking to the ref here. So there's Neymar down here. There was just a scrum. There was a scrum, and they started pushing and shoving each other. Um, it was somewhere after this. Um, but it was before the penalty. It was somewhere around here because when they all gathered up and grouped together, like Vinny started to choke the dude. Like he had him from behind and like started to choke him. Don't know with whatever they're gonna do with that, and it's like, oh, all right. And like we had some Norway players shoving each other. I think Holland got into the mix, or like he was like doing one of these, or like shoving another dude. Like they all just started shoving each other. And again, back to like my tough guy sport mentality. Let them throw fists. Like if they want to fight, let them throw fists. And then after they get done scuffling, play on. That's why hockey's the best sport. Look at the Netherlands when Netherlands played Morocco. Side body, like his face was like super bloody. It's like let them go punch each other, get a black eye, cut lip or whatever, bruised elbow, like and it's like, well, he cut his eyebrow and like, okay, have him go run over, hydration break, clean him up, New Jersey, okay, get back out there. Because it's like we of all people know, um, nobody's throwing fists. No one is throwing fists on a soccer field. Okay, here's the. I'll just leave it right here. This is a perfect transitional shot between these two. Yeah, they were. They're yapping at each other, talking smack. Which Neymar did the stutter step on the free kick, which I will give him credit to that. Because one of the announcer in the England game after Harry Kane made his penalty kick, he threw shade right at Neymar, and it's like, See that? Look at that. He stepped in. He knew where he was going. He had all the power and the drive. He didn't take a hesitant step, and he wasn't doing what everybody else is doing. Like he knew where he was going. He didn't stop. He just kept going. And like it's like, oh yeah, look at that. Like just not just Neymar. Like we've seen Mbappe do it. We've seen Ronaldo do it. We see Messi does the. He steps up and then he stops, and like when he stops, that right leg is already swinging back. They like it's a hezzy step. Some of them do like they'll run up and they'll chop their feet. They'll do like the choppy choppy and then kick it. Um, but no, yeah, Harry Kane's is just a straight up. Where are we? Oh, that's when they're backing away. But let's go right. Maybe fast forward. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, he started pointing at him and got up in his face. Which to me, I love this shit. This is intriguing shit. Because to me, what this did, which I love how uh lion, like the roaring lion and the monkey, meme, the you know that I might need to make a meme out of that. But that's kind of what I like love about this shit is like yes the passion with it, but then also like for the foreseeable future, I mean, every single time Brazil plays Germany, you don't think that game's a little hostile, and you don't think there's just a little extra oomph every single time Brazil plays Germany? Yeah, we call it a friendly, but is it a friendly? No. Germany, when Germany played USA, how many pushing and shoving was going on in that? And so, to me, with this interaction, you could say, hey, it's uncalled for. Like, bro, Um, we are in the 100th minute of +7 stoppage time. Bro, like, this was given now, but, and all things considered, dude, Norway ate their lunch, man. Brazil easily could have tied this up. And I know I was talking about like sluggish play. They weren't, but their keeper also had a lot of saves. Both keepers had some saves. So I'm not just gonna, give Norway's goalkeeper all the credit and not even talk about Brazil's. Like both both goalkeepers played fine. Um, but this, like the reason why I'm like, no, it's not too bad. It's like fine with it is because it builds for, yeah, we know these two teams might play each other again in a friendly of some kind. And guess what? Look, this will be one of those montages where it's like when they talk about like Brazil history, soccer, Brazil, like that they'll bring this up. Now, it might come with a little bit of an asterisk because they'll talk and they'll clown on, well, Brazil was down 2. I don't know. I don't know, but it like when you look at like highlights of every single time Ohio State and Michigan play, well, something they bring up fights and the heated moments. So yeah, it was a fun it was a fun game. It was a fun game. Now what was really unfortunate about Neymar, um, and this game is like if you want me to be honest, like from an ethical hoops standpoint, hell no. This goal should not have counted because again, we're in the 100th minute. We're in the 100th minute of +7 stoppage time, which I mean Mexico's extra stoppage time too was also ridiculous because it's like 11 minutes of plus stoppage time. 11. All right. But yeah, the ending of this game kind of dragged on um, for it to end. But dude, Norway shocked the world. Norway shocked the world. That's the best I can say about it. Just because I mean I know I myself predicted Norway, but how many other people did? You know, how many other people said they're gonna win? You know. So here, let me pull up the stuff. Let me pull up some stuff here. Oh, it's probably gonna play an ad, so let me pull up some stuff here. It's like, no, we're jumping straight into it. Oh, damn, really? No. Um, yeah, let's get to Jude Bellingham's goals. Because with how these goals played out for me is like I saw the first goal and I was like, whoa, 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 what I missed? So rewound it a little bit, and then by the time like I rewound the goal, and then fast forward to okay, let's go catch up. It's 2-0, and I was like, what the frick? Um, because again, it was a quick, and I mean quick. He scores in the 35th minute, and then right in the 37th minute, back to back to back. And so I would say, with just how this game went, this was me personally. You take away Harry Kane's penalty kick, and you take away Mexico's penalty kick, because both of them had penalty kicks. And whether you're like, well, because it's like, no, I wouldn't award. I would. The goalkeeper was going to make the save against England. It doesn't matter how far outside the box he is. He made a save. He made a play on the ball. Don't award him the free kick. At the end of the day, what made the difference? This 2-0 goal. Because you take away Mexico's and then you take away England's. This game is still 2-1. So that's how I look at it. And I know during the game it's like, well, because I mean there's a lot of ifs, ands, and buts. Like again, if you know, well if Argentina didn't get so many saves, Cape Verde would have won. Cape Verde would have won, and if there was yeah, there's a lot of ifs, ands, and buts. You look at the Portugal game. Yeah. Anyways, we'll see. We'll see how legit Portugal is tomorrow when they play Spain. But I think I think these goals by Bellingham ended up being the difference. Now, when you want to talk about the very, very, very end of the game and like the differences within the very end of the game and then the extra stoppage time, there were so many saves and moments and opportunities. Because with how it was playing out, do you guys watch The Simpsons? I'm not going to play it because I know for a fact with who currently owns the distribution rights to The Simpsons, they'll be like, hell no, give me that video. But in one of the Simpsons videos, they're like the World Cup final, Portugal and Mexico, and so that was something people were talking about for fun that the final this year would be Portugal and Mexico because this all the Simpsons. Hey, the Simpsons said it would happen, so it's gonna happen. Um, whoops, come on, roll around here, buddy. Um, so, anyways, anyways, this was a super good game. Which watching the team bus come in for England. Oh boy, oh boy. There were a couple memes I saw of the England, like the singer, who gets the node that he's like, someone did an AI video of that, but it was Harry Kane, and like when it looked at the note, it was like Mexico 3 because somebody said two bands were getting in like like, oh, England's gonna be Mexico 5-0, and then like the thing said Mexico 3, England nothing, and it's like, don't break the script or something. And just look, I think this was a great game. I think Mexico had some chances at the very end, and considering Croatia's goal that was called back that happened at the buzzer, with the amount of chances that Mexico, whoops, I'm messing with the flag, messing with old Lady Liberty here. My bad, girl. You need to. Oh, let me. Okay. With considering how many just chances and in the final, oh, Hello. La 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 blue blah blah. With how many chances Mexico had at the very, very end of the game. Um yeah. This there was the header that went left, there was the redirect that went left. Like if we wanna look at shots on goal, I think scoring chances heavily favored Mexico. Mexico, I think, had like four chances towards the end of the game versus England's what? One? Because half the time they were playing with defenders for the whole second half. Now, the red card and them going down to 10 players, I don't know how it got there. How it got to 3-2, I only know about that because it redid some penalties and did a rerun of the penalty kick. That's the only reason why I know that. Wow, this ad's a little longer than expected. Let's go skip it. Hello. How long has this ad? Jiminy Crickets. Let me move this back over. How long have we been streaming, people? Oh, we've been streaming over an hour. All right. Well, let me move the mouse is laggy. Again, guys, we are streaming on a potato. And while we look, let's look at the chat. Let's make sure how you guys doing. Hello everybody, how you doing? Hope you guys are enjoying the stream while I stream on a potato. Which if I move the camera too much, it'll get glitchy because it'll be like, I'll show you the potato I'm streaming on. This is my mouse padded mouse, so shows what we're dealing with here. But I think yeah, after Kane's penalty kick, that made it 3-1, stepped away, started to move stuff around and work. Hence the headband. Just gotta lift a couple heavy things and get super sweaty and hot because it's over 1,000,000 degrees here. So with just with like how it got down to 10 players, how it got to 2 to 3, like missed all of it. Missed all of it, but came back around the 80th minute mark, somewhere around there where here's Mexico's push. Here's their pressure on England because again, England did not try to make this thing 4-2. And that's where I think ultimately the defense, they talked about in the broadcast, again, because I didn't see the middle third of the 3-1 to the 3-2 with extra stoppage time on why there was 11 minutes. Missed that, I will admit. Something the announcers were talking about was the brilliancy of them coordinating and planning and subbing 5 defenders onto the pitch with them only having 10 left. So I'll give England's defense props and kudos to that. England's defense, let's see. Let's see how they hold up against Norway. Because there's parts of me where it's like, if they shut down Holland, I think they have a real chance. But then again, Brazil had all that time to prepare as well because they knew who's the ball going to. If we have a corner here, who's going to be the tall Viking that's just flying through the air? You know, oh, let's just all watch him just fly through the air majestically and headbutt it. Like they know who the guy is, and like same with Norway. Norway knows who England's top strikers are, so it'll be a good matchup. Looking extremely forward to it, but there's parts of me where it doesn't matter who's going to win because Argentina waiting on the other end of it, where it's like, congratulations, good job, you moved to the next round. Look who you got to play. Which the amount of when you want to look at like bracket for bracket, band for band, the most intriguing, and I'm gonna make a prediction right now. Come back to it, clip it. One of the craziest, if you want to talk about cage fights, if you want to look for a final, biggest cage fight would be Portugal and Norway, considering who they beat to get there. So because Norway went through. Okay, they went through Ivory Coast. Okay, everybody had their game one team. Okay, except for Portugal because they had to play Croatia. So you have Norway go through the Ivory Coast, then they went through Brazil, then England, then potentially Argentina, and then they're right there playing Portugal. Okay, versus Portugal who had to go through Croatia, and then Spain, and then potentially Belgium or Team USA, and then France potentially because I do think the French can beat Morocco. So then after they go through France, then they gotta play Norway like it gauntlet. That would be the gauntlet cage match. That would be so cool to watch, where you throw away history of England and their World Cups, Argentina, France, Italy, Germany, throw all their World Cups away. Just look at the bracket of who they went through to get to that point. Bro, that'd be sick. That'd be super sick. Um, and with that being said, there's a far drive into left field, and oh, look at that. Portugal gets blown out 5-0 to Spain. All right. There's a foul ball here as Castellanos hits a 3-2 homer. All right. So England ends up winning, and they move on to go play Norway. These games are fun. These games are super fun. I haven't even, gosh, now that I look at it, yikes, because we haven't even pulled it up. Which now we gotta pull it up because we gotta talk about it. We gotta talk about yesterday's games. Didn't France just beat the hell out of whoever they played? And then Canada. We'll talk about Canada and Morocco because there's not too much to talk about because it was like what do you expect? Like Canada lost 3-0. What? I did see the clips where it's like what an honor it is to lose 3-0, and then like I could see the fans being like, yeah, yeah, what a freaking honor to get our ass kicked at home. Um, no, but let's go to the Men's World Cup. Let's look around. Let's look around. Scoreboard. Oh my gosh, did that say what I think it just did? Oh my gosh, I read that so wrong. I read the VAR super quick. Um, I read the VAR super quick, and my brain just went Viagra because there's a stupid memes about England being allowed to take Viagra because of the elevation or some shit like that, and it's like, what the hell? So, um, yeah, there's those games the other day. We'll talk about Balagoons because we got to talk about Balagoon. Okay, so, oh my gosh, I missed this. You hear that voice crack right there? So France won 1-0, with a penalty kick by Mbappe. Okay. Um, and then Morocco. Whoa. Whoa, I'm yawning. And then Morocco had an impressive second half where they beat Canada 3-0 in the second half because it was 0-0 going into halftime. Um, and the other thing too, if I'm not mistaken, that game was without Saibari as well. So it's like, okay, their best player wasn't even playing, and they beat you. That's like as if this Argentina Egypt game, they're like, yeah, Argentina beat them without Messi. Which, do I think that Argentina team could beat Egypt without Messi? Yes, but it would probably be a tight 2-1 game because they had Messi against Cape Verde, and look how that game went. Woo! They needed every single minute of it. Um, you know what? Let's do a top 10. Top All right, top 10 Sunday. Yeah, Canada, South Africa. Get out of here. Excuse me. Brazil, Japan. Very bad. Morocco, Netherlands. There's three. So far, the best game. Morocco and the Netherlands. Um, and then let's go. Morocco and the Netherlands is the best game. And then Belgium, Senegal. Belgium, Senegal quickly put itself as the best game. So Belgium, Senegal, and then the Morocco, Netherlands game. So those are the two best games in like a top three. And then we fast forward a little bit more. Portugal, Croatia as the best game. So Portugal, Croatia, Morocco, Senegal, Morocco, and then Senegal. Okay, and then because like Switzerland against Algeria 2-0, or Spain against Austria 3-0, or Mexico and Mexico beat Ecuador 2-0. It's like these are these are good games for like the nations themselves, but like overall, it's like no, the Spain game was not better than the Cape Verde game and Argentina game. So yeah, best game Portugal Croatia up until that point, and then we had Argentina Cape Verde as the number one game. Um, and Sunday. Both of these games are super good. So look at that. Mech. Uh, Now, is this Norway game better than the Senegal game? Probably not. This England Mexico game, probably not. Norway Brazil, maybe a little bit better than Portugal. Portugal Croatia. If I were to just do kind of like a quick, you know, tickets as low as $1,000. Yeah, that's a lie. That is a freaking lie. These tickets are not this much. They're more. Especially this United States one. Probably 5 grand to get in the building. Um, this is gonna be huge. This is gonna be a huge game. This is gonna be. Both of these games are huge. Um, yeah. Also, like the drop off from, hey, Argentina, Egypt, about 1,500. Switzerland and Colombia, just go. 700. It's free. Like that drop off is pretty steep. All things considered. Oh, and they're playing in Georgia. Okay. All right. Oh, see, dude, look at the mouse. I'm moving the mouse and it's itching out. Come on. Come on, just get up. Just tap it in. Just tap it in. There we go. Get up there to the World Cup. Get up there. All right. Now we gotta scroll down because I want to put what the. Oh, now you'll work. Okay, then give me. Come here. If that's the problem, then give me this. Okay, here we go. Because we gotta talk about Balaguns coming back from his red card. Him pulling his ultimate trump card and coming back. Yeah, I heard people talking about the reason why is because Trump called FIFA or whatever. I don't know. Again, if you think that that's why, sure, read into that and think it's real or something like that, and be like, "Yep, hey, I saw it. I saw it, dude. I saw it. It was a post on Instagram, followed by like 20 followers. If it had 3 likes, if that's the case, I gotta believe that. No, here's the thing. I think we have seen red cards be called back before because FIFA did make a post about it where like the last one was back during the dinosaur times with black and white photos. At least in that post, the other photo was a black and white photo. Now, um, here's the thing. I've said this. I think it would be very interesting and intriguing for the game, where if you get a red card and you're booked and you have to play with 10 players for the rest, how much more interesting would it make the tournament if for the rest of the tournament you had to play with 10 and then 9 and then 8? And cuz like I don't know which team has the most red cards in this World Cup from group play to knockouts, but like there's parts of me where it's like it'd be pretty interesting to see that and kind of laugh at like, oh yeah, they got a couple red cards. Um Now, was the red card a bad call? After watching the video, yeah, it seemed like a pretty bad call. Now, here's where it's very interesting. Um, if where I would go, wow, wow, bad call. Because we saw Belgium's reaction, and Belgium had their own statement, which I could probably pull it up and we could read it. Because they were like, is this April Fool's or something like that? Um, and they were talking about a disgrace of all. Here's the thing. Um, my hot take is you look at every other it's not like this is Holland or Vinny Jr. or Messi or Ronaldo. Like Balogun is good, but unless he comes out here and he has 2 goals or a hat trick alone, and that is it. USA beats Belgium 2-0, and it's because of him. Then and only then would I be like, well, okay. Because, like, there's parts of me that think, like, I mean, in the Australia game, did he have a goal? In the Turkey game, did he have a goal? I think he did have a goal in the Turkey game. He had a goal against Bosnia in the Bosnia game. Because if he didn't have one in the Turkey game, he did have one in the Bosnia game. But like this Belgium game, this one has all the makings of, hey, everybody else that is not Balogun, this is the time to step up. Prolific, this is the time to step up. And so like to say and have a prediction on like the outcome of a game being cited for or against because of one player when it's like, yes, they are the best scorer so far on their team, like yeah, maybe, but like it's not as big as, well, take away Argentina's keeper, be a little bit of a different outcome. Take away, you know, take away Bellingham. I think England's still probably going to be. So it's kind of, I don't know, like the level and weight of severity of how much of an impact Balogun has on this game, unless he's scoring 3 goals, 4 goals. I don't know. I don't know. Now, this might come around and I might bite my tongue because he might have the final header when there's a corner kick in the game. I'll mute. Oh, I lost the mouse. Ah, it won't let me mute. It won't let me mute. We've been streaming too long. It won't let me mute. Come on. Come on, get there. Get there. No. Okay. Wow, that was bad. I don't know. I don't know. Now, this might come around and I might bite my tongue because he might have the final header when there's a corner kick in the game. How laggy is this stream? I lost the mouse. Oh, it won't let me mute. It's talking about mattresses. Oh, that's funny. Okay, so, um, I don't know. I think it's funny to see everybody's reaction. Um, because it's like, are you pissed? Are you pissed that America got away with it, and it wouldn't have happened if they weren't the host country? Like, are we pissed about that, or are we pissed that? Because I'll be real, I didn't pick USA to beat Belgium. I didn't. I picked Belgium. And I think, like I said, like if with you throw Team USA down 2-0 against Senegal late into that game, I don't think Team USA is coming back. Um, I just the other funny memes that I've talked about that I've seen is there's one of like a politician or something where it's like there is so much corruption that doesn't help me or like something like that. And then there's the one in the video of like Westbrook in opening night when he's like eating things on the sideline, and then it like looks over like that, and it's like you know, FIFA's doing shit, but then when it benefits America, I didn't see nothing. Um, I don't. I think the other thing too, if people are mad about them retracting the red card, don't give the red card on a horseshit call in the first place. Because I mean, we had bigger penalties and bigger scuffles and altercations today in Brazil's game against Norway, and nobody got penalized. Versus Belgium, that's something. And again, because everybody keeps talking about it, this same play happened with Messi. Messi didn't even get a penalty. And it's like, again, Messi, Balogun, you are not Messi. Guess what? If Ronaldo's doing that, Ronaldo's not getting a yellow card. Modric doing it. Modric isn't getting a yellow card. Same with Mbappe. Go down the list all the way to the Colombias, to the Switzerlands, to the Harry Kanes of England. You're the star player. If you step on the back of something, you ain't. Look at what Paraguay was doing to France, and all the like the little chippiness here and there. Like it's like they're not calling that call. Do I feel like Team USA was targeted a little bit? No, I mean, but because I think it was a bad red card call. Um, and didn't they try to appeal it, and then it was denied, and then they brought in the big guns for to make the call. I just think I don't know. I don't know. It's like are we mad because if we think this was the determining factor on if Team USA wins or loses, I don't think we've been watching enough of Team USA or Belgium at all. That's just me. Because if it's literally just one player, excuse me, if it's just one player, and like think about how stacked France is, like let's say, oh well, France already played Paraguay, but like let's say that Mbappe got back at some of the Paraguay players and like stepped on their foot, got a red card kicked off. It's like, would we be just as mad if FIFA was like, well, hold on, let's review, let's bring him back? Because like, there's parts of me like when France plays Morocco, even without Mbappe, I still think France would win that game. And so, with saying that, it's like there's parts of me where just because he's coming back, I yeah, if we think him coming back now again, if he has a hat trick, it is what it is. I'm talking in circles now, and I can tell. But it's like if we thought that, clearly we do not have enough confidence in Team USA or Belgium to win that game. And at the end of the day, there's parts of me. It doesn't matter who wins this game because can France beat Belgium? Yeah, Spain. Sorry, can Spain beat Team USA? Yep. Can Spain beat Belgium? Yep. Can Portugal beat Team USA? Yep. I think it's gotten loud, and the reason why it's gotten very loud is because you listen to media personnel here in the States. We are the host country. What is everybody talking about? Team USA is going to win the whole damn thing. Whole damn thing. And there's jokes that have made where it's like, well, if it's, slided to go that way, let's make it entertaining at least. But like, at the same time, like, you look at so many other rosters and teams, USA is not the best. They are not the best. Um, what did we see out of England tonight? Norway. What did we see out of Morocco the other day? Like, so I don't know. I don't know. That's probably gonna be my final take. And like my final assumption for them neglecting and having taken the red card away and then allowing him to play, which I kind of think with red cards there should be severities of red card levels as well for being suspended and losing out playing on the next, because it's like, yeah, if you come out and you like just deck the shit out of someone, yeah, you probably shouldn't be playing the next game and you probably shouldn't be playing the game after that. But like for a ticky tack like BS call where like you can clearly see a little bit of a sales job here where you got players flopping, doesn't matter what team, you got players flopping, you already got the tensions rising from how the game's going, you give them a red card, send them off. There's parts of me with to the severity of like intending, well, and look at what look at what Neymar did to the one player from Norway today when he swiped his leg, and then like that's what kind of started the scuffle. Or like Norway's flying elbow. Norway's flying elbow wasn't awarded a red card, but this was. So there, do you see where I'm kind of like I'm in, and it's not just because oh well you're an American. It's from we have seen other penalties that were worse that didn't, no yellow, no red, but then this was a red, so it's kind of like I think it's them making the right call to let him come back. But then at the end of the day, it's like if your prediction for USA was USA to win just strictly because of him, we haven't been watching enough soccer. And we don't know. We don't know Belgium. So that's my take on that. That's my take on that. Let's see what else we're seeing here. Boosted by controversy. Oh, that's funny. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Look at the bracket. Look at the bracket coming together. Oh, it's coming together good. Yeah. Yeah, no, if and okay, let's say USA does get past Belgium. Okay. And let yeah, the USA cope and the sweeping is wow, it's pretty insane. It's pretty insane. I don't see him doing it, man. I don't see mm-mm, mm-mm. I just when you want to compare rosters, team to team, roster for roster, competition who they've played up until this point, band for band, comparing band for band. I don't know. Hockey, that's another sport. Baseball, that's another sport. Basketball, that's another sport. But like for other countries, soccer is all they have. Like if this was baseball, if this was baseball, it'd probably be well, where's your your Costa Rica, Panama, Venezuela, um, Chile. Where is everybody else? I don't think Argentina has a baseball team, and if they didn't, it didn't qualify for the World Baseball Classic. But baseball, ooh, if this was baseball, it'd be USA and Canada in the final. No, in the semifinal. And then probably Mexico and Colombia on that side, and then probably Colombia, USA, in the world. Like if this was baseball, because like is a Belgian baseball team beating USA? Probably not. And then hockey would hockey. I'd give it to Norway or Swiss. No, I'd give it to Switzerland. I'd give it to Switzerland, USA in the final, or Switzerland. Because as far as I know, England is not known for their hockey teams. Same with Brazil. I could be wrong. Um, uh, I would just see, I'd probably pick Norway, Switzerland in the semifinal, and then Canada, USA on this side of the left side of the bracket. but just with recent outing, USA beating Canada, I'd take USA, and then USA against Switzerland in the final. So if it was hockey, so yeah, it's much different with a with the what the hell is this sport called? Um, oh my gosh, why football, soccer? Yeah, sorry, I don't know why I'm having a brain fart. All right, why are you being so stupid? Why are the mouse is like I'm too far away from the computer. I can't work. Let me go right here. How does that look? Nope, go away. Square this back up. Square this back up. Alrighty. Well, that looks good to me. It looks good enough to me. It's good enough to go. How are we looking on the? All right, people. Oh well. Oh. Easy now. Easy now, water. How's it looking good? You look like Mary Poppins. Is he cool? Hell yeah, he's cool. All right, we'll do that. Okay, people. Enough of me yapping. Let's get out of here. I don't think there's too many because we did talk about we talked about England. We talked about other sports. Yeah, excuse me. We already did opening monologues and stuff. So other than that, let me see. Oh, now you're doing it again, dude. The freaking mouse on this thing is lagging. Uh, Nothing too much going on. Baseball. Oh well, I didn't really give my thoughts and reactions to I didn't know that the World Cup, the 5th of July, is actually the 1st of April. It's April Fool's Day. Well, he added the Federation's lengthy statement, which highlighted an unprecedented nature of FIFA's decision, as well as how it runs counter to the guidelines FIFA had put before the tournament regarding automatic suspension for any player receiving a red card. It is not only about protecting the Belgian team. We're not defending the national team or federation. We're defending football. Balogun was ejected during the United States 2-0 victory over Bosnia Herzegovina in a round of 32 tackle that initially unpenalized by the referee on the field, but resulted in a red card after VAR. Oh, ho, ho, ho. So the plot thickens. It wasn't originally called a penalty. It was only called a penalty after VAR. Oh. Oh, I see. Oh. Dude, I don't know the rule book. You think I don't know. So anyways, guys, we'll end the stream here. But thank you guys for hanging out. I was thinking about doing a movie review. We could do a movie review later. But it's World Cup, man. It's World Cup. I went 2-0 on my predictions today. I was feeling pretty solid that Norway won. That was a pretty cool game. But other than that, I thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for hanging out. This has been a fun stream. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Trying to think sports wise. I got a video. I'm probably gonna need to make a video tomorrow on the Balagoon suspension being uplifted, upheld, up something. Um, and then we'll do. Is there any other sports stuff that's been going on? Video wise, where I haven't done a video. I never made a video on like all the Sixers trades, or I already made a video about LeBron. Go check it out. I have some football videos that came out recently, giving my thoughts and predictions to the Ravens and how I think they'll do. Uh yeah, other than that, it's nothing like, hey, by the way, just World Cup news. That's like the biggest stuff going on right now. Um yeah, yeah. The G League's going on right now, or there's something going on with basketball right now that's going on. And it's like, what the? I think it's G League stuff or like Summer League stuff. I think, the FIBA's been doing stuff with basketball, or they've been doing like qualifiers or something because Canada played the other day and then Serbia played. But other than that, like, dude, no, like sports. We know who won the finals. We know it was the Knicks. We know you can't drive anywhere near Madison Square Garden the last 48 hours. Oh my gosh, I think the battery ran out on this because I cannot see. Okay, there we go. Where did, what in the hell? Look, so I have it on this and it's not move. Does it need to be a flat surface? Don't use that BS with me. Bullshit. Put it on the hardwood and all of a sudden, woohoo! Let me squeak around. All right, I'm rambling. We're gonna end the stream here. But yeah, I thank you guys for hanging out tonight. This was fun. This was fun, but it is super late, and I'm sick and tired of staying up all night. So we're gonna do a quick hard out, guys. But I thank you all for watching and listening to my opinion on sports. If you guys enjoyed the stream, whether you're watching now or later, be sure to leave that like and subscribe. Be sure to continue to support the channel. And yeah, other than that, man, like predictions since round 32 are going pretty strong. The only ones that I've gotten wrong so far, Germany, um, Senegal, yeah, Morocco, France. Morocco, France is right. England, Norway is right. I had Portugal, Senegal, um, in that little quadrant of the bracket, and then Colombia, Argentina on the other side, on the right side. So, you know, we'll see. We'll see about the games, but I'll see you guys in the next one.